Glenn, thanks very much. I appreciate that. Al, thanks for having us here at SDL Atlas. And thanks to you folks, especially for coming out on a cold morning. It's so nice to see some friendly faces and some new faces here as we kick this off. Pam, you all may know Pam, my wife, and I were going through this speech last night, and I read it to her as I do all of my big speeches, and we got to the beginning, which is where we are right now, and I told her the joke that I was going to tell, and she looked and she goes, don't tell the joke. And I said, why not? And she said, well, number one, it's not a very good joke. And number two, and this was more important, she says, this is not a time for jokes. This is not a campaign for joking. We're facing some of the most serious issues that we've ever faced in our lifetime as a country. And things are changed. Things are different now. And that struck a chord with me because I remember where I was when I realized that things in this district especially were different. Many of you were there with me, as a matter of fact. We were at John Spratt's town hall meeting on September 3rd in Rock Hill. I went. I got in. I was one of the lucky ones. I had to show my ID to get in, which I thought was strange. And I also had to tell the congressman where I stood on health care before I could participate. I never thought I'd have to do that in order to talk to my congressman. But I did it, and I got in. And I stood at the back for the next 2 hours, and I watched as person after person came to the microphone to ask Mr. Spratt questions about the concerns they had about health care, about their anxieties, their fears that government would be picking our doctors for us, their fears that we'd have to wait months and years for procedures as they do in every other country that has socialized medicine, and their fears that we were getting ready to embark on a program that would bankrupt our nation and crush our children and grandchildren under debt that they'd never recover from. And I sat and I watched that for 2 hours, and then I saw John Spratt say something that changed me forever. He said that he believed that government control of our health care system would lead to a quantum leap in efficiency and cost savings and the quality of service. A quantum leap in cost savings and the quality of services. I was stunned by that. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't get a chance to respond, but somebody else did. A lady jumped up right away and she said, Mr. Spratt, I have to ask you. You've been in Congress 27 years. Can you please give me one example of another time that government control of anything has led to cost savings and increased quality of services? And he couldn't. It's not surprising that he couldn't because there are no examples, and he knows it and I know it. What's surprising, however, was that he was there taking that position. And that's when I knew, folks, that things had changed. And for me, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.